The law of Hermetic correspondence is one of the fundamental principles that permeates Hermetic philosophy, offering profound insight into the interconnection between the universe and human experience. In this video, we will explore how the law of Hermetic correspondence manifests itself in different aspects of existence, from the natural to the spiritual, and how this principle can be applied to enhance our understanding of the world and ourselves. When we reflect on this, we will discover how this ancient law remains relevant, influencing both ancient esoteric traditions and modern practices of self-knowledge. The law of Hermetic correspondence is one of the fundamental principles described in Kybalion, a text that explores the teachings of Hermeticism. This principle is often summarized by the phrase, "as above, so below, as below, so above." This simple expression reflects a profound idea about the nature of the universe and the interconnection between its different levels. Essentially, the law suggests that there is a harmony, a correspondence between the different layers of reality. This means that the patterns we observe in the macrocosm, such as the movements of the planets or the cycle of the seasons, have a parallel in the microcosm, such as the functioning of a living organism or even the internal processes of an atom. The idea behind this law is that everything in the universe is interconnected in some way. The principles and laws that govern the vast cosmos also apply to the smallest scales of existence. For example, the way galaxies are organized in space may reflect patterns found in nature, such as the arrangement of petals in a flower or the structure of a shell. This correspondence does not imply that everything is identical on all scales, but that there is a relationship of similarity, a synchronicity that transcends size or magnitude. She invites us to look at the universe and ourselves as reflections of each other, suggesting that by understanding the principles that govern one level of reality, we can gain insights into other levels. In the context of Hermeticism, it is used to understand the holistic nature of the universe. She suggests that by studying the patterns and laws of the world around us, we can better understand the laws that govern our own being and vice versa. This provides a basis for spiritual practice and the pursuit of knowledge, emphasizing the importance of observation and reflection on the natural world and ourselves. It also has ethical and moral implications. If what occurs on one scale is reflected on another, then our individual actions and thoughts have repercussions that go beyond our personal experience. This highlights the responsibility we have in our interactions with the world and with others, as what we contribute on one level can influence the whole. It offers a unifying perspective that links the micro to the macro, the internal to the external, the spiritual to the material, and encourages us to seek knowledge and understanding, not only through exploration of the external world, but also through self-knowledge and introspection. Law of Hermetic correspondence and Taoism. Taoism offers a deep insight into how the cycles of nature and the internal cycles of the human being are intrinsically connected. In Taoism, this interconnection is fundamental, reflecting the belief that observing and understanding the patterns and rhythms of the outer world can offer valuable insights into our inner lives. Nature cycles and internal cycles. Taoism teaches that man and nature are united in a continuous flow of energy and transformation. Natural cycles such as seasons, lunar cycles, and patterns of growth and decline in plants and animals are seen as reflections of internal human cycles, such as emotional growth, rhythms of health and illness, and phases of learning. And introspection. The law of correspondence and the Dharma. Although the concept of Dharma is most commonly associated with Hinduism and Buddhism, it aligns with the law of correspondence in suggesting that there is a natural order or inherent duty that, when followed, promotes harmony in the universe. In the context of Taoism and the law of correspondence, Dharma can be interpreted as the idea that aligning our actions and intentions with the patterns and rhythms of the universe, the macrocosmic correspondence, facilitates a state of balance and purpose in individual lives, the correspondence microcosmic. Observing life on the outside to understand the inside. Taoism encourages observation of nature and its cycles as a way of gaining wisdom and balance. This practice is in harmony with the law of correspondence, suggesting that by understanding the cycles and transformations in the world around us, we can reflect on our own internal processes and life cycles. This approach promotes deep self-knowledge and the ability to live in a more integrated and harmonious way with the world. Alchemy and the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence plays a crucial role in alchemy, influencing everything from the manipulation of metals to the interpretation of esoteric symbols such as astrology and tarot. Alchemy and metal manipulation. In alchemy, the transformation of metals is a practical example of the law of correspondence. Alchemists believe that by refining and transmuting metals, such as converting lead into gold, they were not only altering material elements but also reflecting and inducing changes on the spiritual plane. This practice symbolizes the interconnection between the physical process, microcosm, and spiritual or cosmic evolution, macrocosm. Astrology, heaven reflected on earth. Astrology, deeply rooted in alchemy, is another domain where the law of correspondence is evident. Alchemists viewed celestial bodies and their movements as direct influences on alchemical processes and human life. The position and movement of the planet's macrocosm were considered reflections and determinants of individual events and characteristics, microcosm, guiding alchemists in when and how to perform certain alchemical procedures. Tarot, a mirror of the macrocosm. Tarot, although not traditionally alchemical, shares with alchemy the application of the law of correspondence, especially in esoteric contexts. Each tarot card represents aspects of the human experience, symbolizing how the macrocosm, universe, is reflected in the microcosm, individual. Alchemists, like tarot readers, can use this correspondence to gain insight into internal and external processes. In alchemical practice, the creation of elixirs, the distillation of essences, and the calcination of substances are all processes that reflect the law of correspondence. For example, the purification of a substance through fire is seen as a reflection of spiritual or intellectual purification. Each alchemical process in the laboratory is a microcosm of the universal forces at work, a direct reflection of the macrocosm in the alchemical work. Jung and the law of correspondence. Carl Gustav Jung, one of the most renowned psychiatrists and psychotherapists of the 20th century. Although he did not explicitly refer to the law of hermetic correspondence, developed concepts that reflect this law in its depth and complexity. The law of correspondence finds resonance in several Jungian ideas, mainly in the relationship between the collective unconscious and individual processes. Jung introduced the concept of the collective unconscious, a layer of the unconscious that shares universal contents and memories among human beings. This idea aligns with the law of correspondence by suggesting that there is a connection between individuals, microcosm, and humanity as a whole, macrocosm. Archetypes, structural elements of the collective unconscious, are innate patterns of thought and image that exist in all cultures and times, reflecting a universal correspondence in human psychological processes. Synchronicity, another Jungian concept, also echoes the law of correspondence. Jung describes synchronicity as the occurrence of two or more events that are significantly related, but not causally connected, in a way that reflects an underlying pattern or order. This suggests a correspondence between internal, psychological, and external, physical or material events, indicating that internal processes can be reflected in the external world and vice versa. Furthermore, the journey of individuation, the process by which a person becomes their true self by integrating all aspects of their personality, including the unconscious ones, resonates with the law of correspondence. By integrating and harmonizing the various aspects of the self, the individual reflects and contributes to the harmony of the greater universe, suggesting a correspondence between individual development and the universal pattern. In his clinical and theoretical practice, Jung frequently explored the interaction between symbolism, myths, and dreams, demonstrating how these elements reflect universal patterns
Music
that correspond to individual
reimagined.
dilemmas and processes. This approach illustrates the application of the law of correspondence to psychological understanding and healing, showing how the personal is a reflection of the collective and how the individual can offer insights into the universal. Therefore, even without a direct reference to the law of hermetic correspondence, Jung's work offers a rich tapestry of ideas and practices that illustrate and embody this principle, connecting the individual to the collective, the internal to the external, and the psychological to the spiritual. Correspondence Law and William Blake. Blake often explored in his poetry and art the duality of the universe, representing the physical and spiritual worlds, heaven and earth, as interconnected and reflecting each other. This dualistic view resonates with the law of correspondence in suggesting that the events and conditions of the material world below are in harmony with, or are a reflection of, a greater spiritual state or process above. In works such as The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, Blake explores the union and interaction of opposites, a theme that reflects the idea of correspondence between different levels or states of being. He challenges the conventional notion of morality and seeks a synthesis, an integration of opposites, which can be seen as a poetic application of the law of correspondence, where earthly reality, hell, and spiritual reality, heaven, reflect and inform each other. In his art and poetry, Blake often presented the human being as a microcosm of the universe, macrocosm, an idea that is in tune with the law of correspondence. He believed that understanding the individual could reveal universal truths, and vice versa, suggesting an intrinsic connection between the personal and the universal, the individual and the collective. Blake's extensive use of symbolism, where objects, characters, and events represent broader or universal ideas, also reflects the law of correspondence. He saw imagination as a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds, where symbols serve as correspondences between these two realms. Eliphas Levi and the Law of Correspondence. Eliphas Levi, one of the most influential occultists and writers of the 19th century, played a crucial role in the popularization and development of the law of correspondence within the context of Western esotericism. His work provides an in-depth exploration of how this hermetic law permeates diverse aspects of magic, Kabbalah, and occult philosophy. Hall emphasized how the law of correspondence can be used to understand the relationship between the cosmos and the individual. He saw the universe as an ordered system where everything is connected, and this interconnection can be understood through observation and analysis of correspondences between different levels of reality. The law of correspondence offers a rich perspective on how we can understand and improve our everyday lives. Here are some ways this law can be applied in daily life. Understanding the environment and the self. The law of correspondence teaches us that the environment around us reflects our internal state. If you are experiencing chaos and disorder in your environment, this may be a reflection of what is happening within you. By organizing and cleaning your physical space, you can, by correspondence, bring more clarity and order to your mind and emotions. Personal relationships. In relationships, this law can be seen in the way we treat others and how we are treated in return. If you approach others with kindness and respect, you are more likely to receive the same treatment. This correspondence between actions and reactions in our social interactions reinforces the importance of empathy and mutual respect. Personal growth. The law of correspondence can also be a powerful tool for personal growth. Your goals and dreams, macrocosm, must be aligned with your daily actions and habits, microcosm. For example, if you want to achieve inner peace, practicing gratitude and meditation daily can be a reflection of this greater desire. Health and wellness. In health, the correspondence between mind and body is evident. Emotional or mental stress, microcosm, can manifest as physical problems, macrocosm, and vice versa. Taking care of your mental health can have corresponding positive effects on your physical health. Decisions and consequences. Every decision we make, microcosm, can have a significant impact on our larger life, macrocosm. Understanding this correspondence can encourage us to make more informed decisions, recognizing that even small choices can have big repercussions. Spirituality and practice. For those following spiritual paths, the law of correspondence emphasizes the importance of aligning daily spiritual practices, microcosm, with broader beliefs and values, macrocosm. This may involve integrating moments of reflection, meditation, or prayer into your daily routine, reflecting and reinforcing your spiritual convictions. By applying the law of correspondence to our daily lives, we take a holistic approach, recognizing that our thoughts, actions, and environment are a reflection of universal laws and principles. This insight can empower us to make positive changes, improve our relationships, promote personal well-being, and influence the world around us in meaningful ways. The law of Hermetic correspondence is one of the 7 universal laws of Hermetic philosophy, and states that everything in the universe is connected and that there is a correspondence between all things. This law is based on the idea that all things in the universe are a manifestation of the universal mind, which is the source of all things. Understanding the law of Hermetic correspondence can help us change our thought patterns and emotions, allowing us to create a more positive reality in our lives. It can also help us seek spiritual understanding and realization of the true self. Modern science is increasingly moving closer to the ideas of Hermetic philosophy, and many scientists are now exploring ideas that were previously considered only from the spiritual realm. Understanding the law of Hermetic correspondence can help us understand the universe and our connection to it, allowing us to live more conscious and fulfilling lives.